And I don't quite know how they go about getting the worms back in.
Mike, you and I are going to disagree on this because we have in the past, but I think the Sky Judge would simply duplicate what there is currently on the books for every game that's played in the NFL. You just have to ask yourself, okay, the replay official upstairs has the ability to press a button and to talk into the referee's ear and say, Mahomes' leg was down. That's a sack right there. Or the officiating command center in New York has the same ability, can press a button and say, hey, that Devontae Smith catch is not a catch. Call that off. Okay? Now, what's going on right now in the league, I believe, there are a lot of officials who basically think we have so many eyes watching us right now that if we make a mistake, it's going to be corrected by somebody else. And Mike, I believe that's what led to the absolute total debacle with 10 minutes and 30 seconds left in the Kansas City-Cincinnati game, in which twice, the officials did a do-over, and on the second do-over of a play, Eli Apple got called for defensive holding, which was the right call, and allowed Kansas City to have another series of downs. And the reason that this, we understand that sometimes mistakes are made, but do you know what happened because that mistake was made twice? I'm writing about it in my column on Monday. You go down a rabbit hole, but it's a rabbit hole that every person who cares about officiating should read. I don't mean to brag. This is important, and it's important to see how little mistakes can cause big issues, like this big issue. By screwing up the play the way that the Ronald Torbert crew did, okay, it cost 1 minute on the clock, 4 additional plays that never should have been played. Imagine if somebody gets a serious injury on one of those plays, when all 4 of those plays should never have happened. And Zach Taylor burned a timeout during those 4 plays. So, I mean, it potentially was a colossal, problem in this game. But to get back to our original thing, to me, there's already 2 people who would do what the Sky Judge does. It would be asked to do. And I don't understand why you need a Sky Judge. Just have the replay official and the New York officiating command center, in the immortal words of Belichick, do your job.
Well, but that's the whole purpose of this modified Sky Judge. They don't have full powers yet to fix everything. There's a narrow band of situations where they can be involved. For example, people think the intentional grounding play was a Sky Judge issue. It wasn't. Now, maybe they went beyond the rules. That key intentional grounding late in the game on Joe Burrow, that's not one of the potential things that can be utilized when Sky Judge is or isn't available. So the bottom line is whatever they do,
but it can be used in replay assist.
But it has to be. There are, again, replay assist is a limited band of plays. And one of my concerns is there isn't enough explanation to fans. There isn't enough explanation to media. As the games are happening, we don't quite understand. We're not told whether or not expedited review is or isn't available for this. My point is this: if they're going to use it, it can't be selective. It's got to be consistent. And I think in any case, if it's sufficiently clear and obvious that a challenge flag thrown prevails, why isn't replay assist intervening when you have all the angles available to 345 Park Avenue? One last thing, and they're telling me to break. Remember on that clock error with the mulligans and that debacle that made people think the NFL is rigged? The original problem was Ron Torbert said on my signal, start the play clock and the game clock, when he shouldn't have said start the game clock. There'd been an incomplete pass.
Of course.
That was the first domino.
But that wasn't the original problem. That wasn't the original problem. The original problem was he spotted the ball a half yard behind. Right. If you look at the replay, You see the Kansas City sidelines pointing, hey, you guys spotted the ball wrong. And that's when the side judge ran in and said, hold on a minute, we got to respot this ball. And then the Ronald Torbert thing happened. But it was all goes back to, you know what, Mike? You know what officiating is? It's a lot of small things, okay? Yeah. And this got screwed up because Ronald Torbert misspotted the ball. How do you misspot a ball? But he misspotted the ball by half a yard, and then that led to, as you'll read in my column, that led to, that was the first of 5 mistakes that happened in about 3 minutes of real time.
And almost all of those mistakes could have been fixed by replay assist, sky judge, etc. That mechanism is in place. So my point is this: if you're going to have it, you got to use it consistently. You got to use it properly.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.